Welcome to New Hampshire's Business. I'm Fred Coker. New Hampshire now prohibits PFAS chemicals in consumer products sold in the state and also requires prior notice of PFAS chemical contamination when buying a property in New Hampshire. Here's a description of PFAS. It is substances, it's a group of human-made chemicals to create slippery surfaces. Discharges are in fresh and ocean water. They're in air concentrations near industrial facilities. They're in soil from industry deposits. They're in stain-resistant clothing, rugs, furniture, food, packaging. What's being done about PFAS in New Hampshire? Well, the state is doing some testing, some research. It's got regulations, and then legislation has been passed. Pease Tradeport is an example of PFAS, where community action is being taken on the group water well contamination when the U.S. Air Force was there and occupied it. And in Merrimack, Community Citizens Group, the water well contamination there by a plastics manufacturer. With me is the sponsor of a bill in legislature that will begin to control PFAS, and it was just signed by the governor. State Representative Karen Ebel of New London, who sits on the House Public Works and Highways Committee, is chair of the Solid Waste Management Legislative Study Committee, and former Deputy House Speaker. Welcome. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
You were a primary co-sponsor of this House Bill 1649 that targets PFAS in consumer products and sold in New Hampshire. It's now law. And here's a list of the products before you talk about it. Carpets, cosmetics, feminine hygiene products, food packaging, juvenile products, upholstered furniture, textile furnishings, textile treatments, and the law goes into effect January 1st, 2027. Just how extensive is PFAS contamination in this state? Did you know from testimony that you received in the committee?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you very much for having me on here, and I really appreciate the opportunity to discuss this issue, which is quite important.
Yep.
As you mentioned in your earlier statement, much of what's been going on in New Hampshire has been dealing with the aftermath of PFAS use, the toxic chemical that's contaminated water in many areas in the southern part of the state. What's less known is that the PFAS chemicals that are in practically every product we touch, they go into us, they end up in the, in the wastewater treatment stream, they end up in our garbage, and all of that can go into water. So the contamination is very widespread.
How did you decide which products to put into this bill?
Well, first of all, there are many, many products to choose from, but I looked at a couple of things. First of all, what I looked at was where people are most directly exposed, and so that would be the food packaging, feminine hygiene products, and actually dust. Yeah, there's a lot of dust in the air for it, and then I was particularly concerned about juvenile products because many children's products, for their anti-stick properties, do have PFAS in them. But the other side of the coin that I looked at, and because of my background with solid waste, we were looking at the products that have the most PFAS load in them that go into our landfills, which ultimately end up in the waste stream. So that's the carpets, which by the way is also where children crawl, carpets, upholstered furniture, and various textile treatments.
And thus the health effect.
And thus the health effect. I mean, that's what is the undergirding of this whole thing, is the health effects. But you can't really start to tackle that until you stop using the products.
Why does it not go into effect? I think I know the answer, until 2027.
Well, and also just in additional response to your question, one of the reasons that the deadline is January 1st, 2027, and also one of the other reasons that I chose the products that I did for this legislation is that I looked very closely at what other states were doing in the United States, and their effective dates would be prior to 2027.
And we're out of time, but I'm going to put up one more graphic, and this shows you where you can go for information on PFAS. You can see the different places, PFAS questions, Dartmouth, EDU, and so forth. My thanks to Karen Ebel, who is a state representative from New London, for this briefing on PFAS chemicals. Thank you. If you missed this, you can go to WMUR.com, where, as you know, it will be posted all week.